Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be giving you guys my outlook on the Washington Commanders tight end room in 2022. We'll break down each of the players in the room, including Logan Thomas, Cole Turner, John Bates, Sammis Reyes, and a couple other players. We'll talk about if Logan Thomas will be ready for the season, and we'll talk about some possible surprise cuts. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. Hit that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Now, let's get right into the video. Heading into the 2022 season, the Washington Commanders, in my opinion, have a very solid tight end room, especially if Logan Thomas is able to play this season early on. I think they have a really solid room. They got a good mix. They got an older veteran in Logan Thomas who, has shown he can produce in this league. And you got a good blocking tight end, John Bates, who can also pass catch as well. You got a big pass catching rookie tight end in Cole Turner. And you have some other guys as well, Sammis Reyes and Curtis Hodges, who have some potential as well. So we're going to go through all those guys, predict if they're going to make the team or not, and expectations for them in the 2022 season. So let's start off with Logan Thomas. Obviously, going to make the team, 30 years old, 6'6", 250 pounds. He is coming off of an ACL injury, so he might not be ready for the start of the season. He probably won't. Who knows at this point? It's really hard to tell. You can see him right here at OTAs on the sideline. That is to be expected, and he has a little bit of a brace on or whatever that is. I don't know. We're going to get a lot better idea once we get to training camp if he's, participating. Then he's going to play. Likely, though, him and Chase Young will start, training camp on the PUP list. I would be very surprised if they aren't. And if they aren't on the PUP list, then that's very good. But guys get off the PUP list all the time. I mean, even Alex Smith started training camp on the PUP list, got off of it. Curtis Samuel was on the PUP list last year, got off of it, of course, was out for most of the year. Landon Collins started the season off on the PUP list as well. So just because you're not the season, he started, training camp on the PUP list. So just because you start training camp on the PUP list doesn't mean you can't get off of it. Usually they get off of it within, the first couple weeks. So I think that could be the case with these two. But also, Logan Thomas could start off the season on IR. Like, he did have that injury a few weeks after Chase Young, and they were two different surgeries, but Chase Young is much younger, and, usually the younger guys recover a little bit quicker. So we'll see. I think Logan Thomas will be ready, will play this season. It's just a matter of when is he able to play. I think he'll miss the first few games, so maybe he'll start the season on IR. But we already know what type of player Logan Thomas is. He's a very good red zone threat, a big target for whoever's playing quarterback. And in 2020, in his first year, keep in mind, first year playing as a starting tight end, had 670 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 72 catches. Was really good for us. And then this next season, played in 6 games, had 3 touchdowns, and 196 yards. But the kind of numbers are a little bit misleading because he hurt himself in the Falcons game really early on. So that's kind of 5 games that he played. And the Raiders game, he hurt himself, I think, midway through the game. So he really played 4.5 games this year and put up 196 yards and 3 touchdowns. I really like Logan Thomas. I think he is one of the better tight ends in the NFL. No, he is not an elite tight end, but he is, when healthy, I believe, like a top 10-ish tight end. I think that's pretty safe to say, in that range, top 10, top 12. He's a solid tight end for sure. Great pass catcher, solid blocker, a good target for whoever your quarterback is, has amazing hands, and, sometimes can get you some yards after catch as well. So hopefully Logan Thomas is able to play for us early on this season, right away. But there's a possibility he starts the season on IR. I don't think he'll start off on PUP, because I believe if you start on PUP, you're out for 8 weeks. It's either 6 or 8, but I don't think he'll be out for that long. But he could be out, for the start of the season, or just, he'll be slow to start producing because he is coming off a major injury. Next guy, we're going to go with is Cole Turner. Obviously, think he's going to make the team, 5th round pick. Going to be hard for him not to make the team. 22 years old, about 6'6", 240 pounds. Played his college football at Nevada, and I mean, he produced a lot, in the last couple years. In 2020, played in 9 games, had 605 yards and 9 touchdowns. And then in 2021, he played in 11 games, 62 catches, 677 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So, really, like in the last 2 years, had 9 and 10 touchdowns, so pretty much 20 touchdowns and 600 plus yards in both seasons. So he's been producing. He produced really well in the last couple years at Nevada with Carson Strong, and he's a former wide receiver and converted to tight end a lot. You can see his first 2 years playing receiver. Washington likes these converted players. Logan Thomas obviously played quarterback, now plays tight end. Cole Turner, receiver to tight end. Sammis Reyes, former basketball player. Ricky Seals-Jones last year was a receiver who switched to tight end. Like, they have a lot of, former, either receivers or tight ends or basketball players that they switch to tight end. So they definitely, that's a common theme with them. But Cole Turner, I don't know if he's going to produce a ton in his rookie year, but he will. I think he will be on the field, obviously going to make the roster. And he'll be, let's say if Logan Thomas is starting the season healthy, he's totally healthy, then, it'll be Logan Thomas as tight end 1, and then a mix of Cole Turner and John Bates as tight end 2, because they both offer completely different things. Cole Turner is going to be a big target for Carson Wentz. He can, he's not going to be able to block much. He's not a great blocker, but he's going to be a great threat in the red zone. You can throw some fade passes to him, and he's going to be able to go up and get them. He did that in, at Nevada. He a lot of tough catches that he made. He had a couple, concentration drops, but, those things obviously are coachable, and it's more of a mental thing, but he's got the tools for sure. He's got a lot of potential, and, according to some of the media people and content creators Rio talked about on my show yesterday, that Cole Turner has looked good, and he looks legit. So I'm excited to see what he can do this year as a big target for Carson Wentz. And yeah, Carson Wentz likes to throw to his tight ends a lot. So Cole Turner, I think if he's ready this year, he will get significant playing time, and Carson Wentz is going to throw on the ball, especially if Logan Thomas is out to start the season. Because if Logan Thomas is out for the first few weeks of the season, Cole Turner is going to be the primary pass catcher alongside John Bates. So, he could get off to a fast start for sure. Definitely excited to see what Cole Turner can do for us this year. I really like that pick. Next guy, John Bates. He is my guy. John Bates is, super underrated. 6'6", 24 years old, 260 pounds, played at Boise State. Last year, had a really underrated year, 20 catches, 250 yards, and those numbers don't pop off, obviously. Was a 4th-round pick, but he was an amazing blocker last year. He was a really good blocker. I think PFF ranked him as the best blocking tight end in the NFL, either run blocking or pass blocking, or maybe even both. So you got to take that with a grain of salt, but you could see he was doing really well as a blocker, really helped us in those in that 4-game stretch that we had that 4-game winning streak. He was crucial to our running game and us getting a bunch of yards in the run game. So he was really good in blocking. And you kind of look at the second half of the season, he really started to produce as a pass catcher. If you look from weeks 10 to week 18, he really started to get more and more involved in the offense. It's not a ton, but 25, 23, 15, 42, 19, 29, 45, 35, and 5, versus the start of the season where he really didn't get anything. The first 5 games, he did not get a single catch, and then week 6, he gets 1 catch. Week 7, nothing. Week 8, 1 catch. So that really brought his numbers down. But if you go, just based off the second half of the season, he was used a ton as a pass catcher. Not a ton, but a lot more than he was in his, first few weeks, and he was really efficient. He caught almost every pass thrown his way. I think he got targeted. He might have had 2 or 3 targets where he didn't catch it because he was either a bad throw or he just didn't catch it. But I like John Bates, and I think he can be more than just a blocking tight end. I think he can be a security blanket for some people. And he's not explosive. Obviously, he's not very quick, but he sometimes he can give you a little bit more than just he can get you some yards after a catch. He did it a few different times last year. So I really like John Bates, and I think that's why I like this tight end room a lot, because I think it's a really good mix. You got Logan Thomas, who is a stud, but then you got Cole Turner, primarily a pass catcher, but can block a little bit, and then you got John Bates, who is a very good blocker and can pass catch all right. and I love the blend of those two guys. And if Logan Thomas is out to start the year, you got a good mix of John Bates and Cole Turner who can, we talked about it. One's a good blocker, the other's a great pass catcher, or at least coming out of college. So I'm excited to see how both these guys play together. I think they'll mesh really well together. Next guy, like the first three guys will 100% make the team. And the next guy, Sammis Reyes, very, very developmental, player right here. Played last year. He made the roster, and he did play sometimes. Like, he played a lot on special teams, but didn't play too much on offense. Is a solid blocker, but again, this guy never played football before last year, so like he needs a lot of time to develop. And I don't know if they're gonna want to keep him on the roster just as a developmental guy. He's also, been injured to start off, off-season programs, so that could slow him down for sure. 6'5", 260 pounds. He's a freak athlete. He's got the measurables, but again, he's a developmental guy who it's going to take a while for him to develop. And this is year 2, so it's crazy he made the roster year 1, and maybe they'll want to keep him on the roster year 2. So I'm just not sure. And if, let's say, Logan Thomas starts the year on IR, then they obviously would keep Cole Turner and John Bates, and they probably will, keep Sammis Reyes as well. But I don't know. It's going to be tough for him to make the roster. He's going to have to produce in the preseason and play well in training camp to make the roster if they keep 4 tight ends. They kept 4 tight ends last year, I believe, so maybe they'll keep 4 tight ends this year again, and we'll see. But he's also competing with Curtis Hodges out of Arizona State. They don't even have his picture up here. 22 years old, 6'8", 240 pounds. He had a pretty big, he produced somewhat at Arizona State. He's a solid player. And a lot of guys like, the tight end experts like Logan Paulson really, really likes him and, thinks he can, make the roster this year. So that would be interesting, having a 6'6" guy and a 6'8" guy in your tight end room, and then having Cole Kelly on your practice squad at 6'8" as well, or 6'7". Curtis Hodges, again, he's not going to make the roster if Logan Thomas is healthy at the start of the year. But if Logan Thomas starts the year on IR, then you could see Curtis Hodges battling it out with Sammis Reyes to possibly make the roster. We will see. But let me know what you guys think about the tight end room, and let me know who you think will make the roster. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace, guys.